Hi everybody! For today's Tone Series class, we're going to be focusing on toning and strengthening our arms. I'm going to start facing you guys, just so you can see what I'm up to, but you guys can start at the front of your mat facing forward. So find yourself in a nice comfortable seat, remove that excess flesh from those sit bones so you can really root down, that base is strong and steady, connecting to the earth below you. The next inhale is going to inhale our spine up a little bit taller. The inhale following that one's going to inhale those shoulders up. The exhale is going to roll them down the back, allowing that heart to open and that chest to open. Those palms can come to the knees. Face down if you want to ground yourself for a few moments here. Face up if you'd like to call in some more energy into your body and into your being. Close down those eyes for a moment. Bring your awareness to your breath. Start by simply observing it. And then we'll begin to deepen that breath, and we're going to bring it down low into the diaphragm. So when we're breathing in the lungs, you'll find those shoulders lift up as the upper body expands. But if you breathe down low in the diaphragm, you'll notice that it's just the stomach that expands, but the remainder of the body stays still. So let's focus on a few breaths into that diaphragm. And when your next inhale comes, you can inhale those hands to your heart center. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice today. Hopefully setting an intention that you can carry beyond your practice into the remainder of your day, and really something that you can embody for your life and as who you are. And with this intention really embodied within you, we can start to bring some movement into our practice. So release those hands down to the knees. Gently open those eyes up. And on an inhale, we're going to inhale those arms up towards the sky. We're going to flip our palms facing up, and we're going to bring the fingers together here, really stretching up through the palms of the hands. So feeling that stretch into your arms. You can close the eyes again if you want, and just really breathe into the arms here for a moment. Continuing with that steady breath that you cultivated at the start of your practice today. And recognizing that the breath is what will keep you present in this present moment. Present, tethered, all those beautiful words that can describe being here right now. And on that next inhale, we're going to inhale the arms in front of us, and we're going to kind of round into the back here. As if we were in a cat pose seated, really still pressing through those hands. The next inhale inhales those arms back up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to extend over to the left. This time, really feeling the stretch in the right side of the body. That next inhale inhales us back up to center. And the exhale extends us over to the right. This time, feeling it in the left side of the body. Your next inhale inhales you back up to center. That exhale releases those hands down to the knees. We're going to just find a few movements in the shoulders. So those inhales are going to inhale the shoulders up, and the exhales are going to round them down the back. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rounding down the back. Let's do 5 more with your breath being your guide. Those inhales always lift as those exhales allow us to drop back. Two more. Wonderful. Now we're going to make our way into a high plank pose. So we're going to take those fingers, spread them out nice and wide, and really make sure that the palms of the hands are directly below those shoulders here. And those hands are shoulder width distance apart as well. We're going to extend those legs back long. Really make sure that that tailbone is in line, so it's not lifting up as if we were in a downward dog, and it's not dropping down here into the lower back either. So we're nice and extended, we're nice and steady, that core is engaged. And if this feels like too much for you, you can drop down on the knees here since we're really focused on the arm. If you come on the knees, make sure that the knees are not below the hips, but they're a little bit further back so that the weight is still in the arms, whether those legs are extended or not. So we're going to start today with some wide push-ups. So this is not typical for a yoga practice because when we move through Chaturanga, we keep those elbows in tight. But we want to work all of our arms right now. So we're going to do some wide push-ups. So we're going to do 10 of them here. So again, you can choose to keep those knees on the earth or you can extend those legs out long. But when you're ready, we're going to slowly move through 10 of these. So let's use that exhale as we lower down. Inhale, push up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And remember, these arms are coming wide here. And if at some point, maybe in the middle, you need to lower those knees down to finish your 10, that's absolutely fine. Two more. Beautiful. Set the knees down here. Let's take those knees on wide, toes to touch, and let's take a resting pose here in child's pose. So bring those sit bones back towards the heels, and let's extend those arms out long in front of us. Release that forehead down to the mat. Really settle in here for a few breaths. Now we're going to go ahead and activate the arms here. So I want you to lift the hands up so just the fingertips are on the mat. And we're going to really actively press those hands into the mat and feel how that engages all the way through the arms to the shoulders. Keep that forehead on the earth here and just continue to breathe. Beautiful. Release those hands. Shift that way forward as we inhale and we lift up here. We're going to make our way back into a plank pose. So same thing as we did before. Those hands are right under those shoulders. Those fingers are spread wide. We're really pressing in. So we're not dropping down here with those shoulders. We're really lifting up and the heart pulls forward between the arms. So breathe here in your plank. A few breaths. Make sure that core is engaged. And the next inhale, we're going to come over to that right side into a side plank here. So we can stack those feet, lift those hips up high. If you need to, you can drop that lower knee down here for some support. Nice steady breath. This left arm can lift up towards the sky. If you want to make it a little more active, you can even lift that left leg. Wherever you are, just stay with that beautiful steady breath. And even here, make sure that you are still embodying that intention that you set for your practice today. Remembering that this is a shorter class, so really do your best to push yourself, to stay active in the body, and to really grow stronger. Beautiful. Lowering down to that plank one more time. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. Make sure that gaze is down towards the earth. Beautiful. Now we're going to shift to a side plank on the left side. So again, those hips are lifting. We're not letting them drop down here. Inhale that right arm up high. And then whatever variation you want to take with that right leg, it can stay in place. If you need to drop the left knee, you can. And just breathe here. Beautiful. Back to that plank. Should be really feeling this in the arms, and that's what we're focusing on today. Back to that right side. Side plank on the right. Inhale that left arm up, lift those hips up high. Again, whatever variation you want with that left leg. Stay with that steady breath here. And if you need to, this hand can stay on the hip as well. If you want to, you can extend it in front of the body as well. Whatever feels right for you. Your body, your practice. Beautiful. Back to that high plank. Over to the left. Side plank on the left. When you're ready, inhale that right arm up towards the sky, adding whatever variation feels right for you. Beautiful. Back to high plank. One more time. Over to the right. Nice steady breath. Back to that high plank, 5 breaths here. Over to the left. Keep those hips lifted. Beautiful. Back to that high plank, 5 breaths here. You got this. Beautiful. Lower those knees. Take those knees out wide, toes to touch. Let's take a few breaths of a rest in a child's pose. Taking the time to slow the breath down if it's sped up on you. Re-embody your intention if it's left. Breathe into those arms and those shoulders. And next inhale lifts us back up. We're going to do the same series here, but we're going to do it on our forearms. So bring the forearms to the mat. Same thing, those elbows are right under those shoulders. Hands are pressed nice and even and flat into the mat. When you're ready, we're going to lift these feet up. Make sure that booty's in line here. Those shoulders are lifted. Nice steady breath. Let's come over to the right side. Again, any variation you like. Back to forearm plank. Over to the left. Steady breath. Back to forearms. 2 more times. Over to the right. Keep those hips lifted. Back to forearms. Keep that core engaged here. Over to the left. Keep those hips lifted. Back to forearms. 1 more round. Keep breathing. Over to the right. Last one on this side. Back to forearms. Over to the left. Back to forearms, 5 breaths. Beautiful, knees down, take them out wide. Toes to touch, come into that child's pose. If you want to, you can even wrap those arms back to really find a release here. Forehead can come to the mat or either cheeks, depending on how much space you have in the hips. Breathe here. If you're on one cheek, rotating to the other side. Those arms around the body, bringing them forward again. Forehead to the mat. Next inhale lifts us up. And we're going to make our way into a Sphinx Falls here. So you can release those legs down to the mat. Make sure that those shoulders and those elbows are in line here. So walk the shoulders back if you need to. Shoulder distance apart. Really root those hands down, and we're going to inhale. We're going to lift that heart up even higher here. And pull that heart forward between the arms. That neck's going to stay neutral so we're not bending down on the back. We're not tucking the neck down. And we're going to breathe here. And then let's do some neck rolls. So let's tuck the chin down. Roll the neck over to the left. Exhale, bring that chin back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back down. Inhale to the left. Exhale down. Inhale right. If there's any other movements, if you want to bring the neck back, hold on one side or the other. Nice breath here. All right. We're going to come back into that forearm plank. So tuck those toes, lift that body back up. 5 breaths here. Lift up to plank. Nice and strong. Keep those shoulders lifted. That core is engaged. Beautiful. Press back, downward facing dog. Really press those palms into the mat. Press that mat away so that spine is extending backwards. Roll those shoulders open. Lift those sit bones up towards the sky. Root those heels down towards the earth. Few breaths here. Nice and active. Now we're going to come into turbo dog. So you're going to bend the elbows wide here, like we did a wide push-up, and then you're going to roll them down towards the earth, and then we're going to straighten out. So bend, roll, straighten. Bend, roll them down, straighten. Beautiful. Let's do that 5 more times. So bend, roll them under, straighten. 4 more. Straighten. 3 more. 2 more. Bend them, roll them down, straight. Last one. Beautiful. Now let's walk those feet forward. We're going to come into a forward fold here. Release those arms, let them hang. Find some movement if you need to, or come to stillness. You want to take some variations with the arms, feel free. Maybe you're feeling it in the shoulders. You want to take a little bit of a shoulder opener, clasp the hands, let them fall over the back. Whatever feels right for you. All right, release those arms if you have them lifted. We're going to take the feet and we're going to walk the feet together here. Toes that touch, little space between the heels. And on an inhale, we're going to inhale, lift up into Ukitasana, chair pose. So we're going to let those sit bones drop down as we inhale those arms up high. So make sure the weight's coming back here so the knees are not crossing the toes. Very gentle tuck of the tailbone. That heart is lifting up here. And then we're going to pull those arms back. And we're going to pulse these arms in towards each other here, okay? So those shoulders are rolled back. Let's do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release those arms down. Stand up tall. 2 breaths here. Next inhale, inhales those arms back up. Exhale, sits us back down into that chair. Really lifting up with those arms. Heart coming forward, gentle tuck of the tailbone. Then we're going to extend those arms behind us. We're going to do the same thing. So for a count of 10, we're going to pulse those hands towards each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. And take those feet back to hip width distance. When your next inhale comes, we'll inhale to that halfway lift, extending out of the crown of the head. Exhale, release down. Root the hands, step back into a high plank. Same thing here. These hands are shoulder width distance, right below those shoulders. We're lifting up here. That core is engaged. We're going to do 10 more of those wide arm push-ups. So those elbows are going to come out wide here. So 10 of these on your own breath. We'll inhale down. Exhale up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Remember, if those knees need to come down, they can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees wide, toes to touch, come into that child's pose. And that next inhale lifts us up. And I forgot to mention, we're actually going to use blocks for practice today. So if you can grab your blocks, I have mine sitting right here. We're going to work those triceps. So we're going to do some tricep dips here. So we're going to set the blocks on both sides of our body. Going to sit on our bottom. The feet are going to come flat on the mat. You can walk them away a little bit. To make this a little bit more challenging, I want you guys to flex the feet here. So we're really going to work on balance as well as we balance on the heels. So we're going to just do some tricep dips here. So if you want to, the fingers can wrap around the front of the blocks or they can stay flat, whatever feels right for you. So on an inhale, let's press the hands into the blocks and lift those sit bones up off the mat. And those exhales, we're going to hover, barely touch on the earth. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Beautiful. Let's do 10 more. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down, set those arms behind you, fingers pointing towards the body. Bring those feet flat in the mat. Inhale, lift, reverse tabletop. You can let the head hang. Few breaths here. Next exhale releases us back down, and we're going to do that one more time. So same thing, if you need to, you can kind of roll those wrists out a little bit here. Then we're going to bring the hands to the mat. Walk those feet out a little bit. Flex the feet here. When you're ready on an inhale, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 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 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Release down. You can set those blocks off to the side. Roll those wrists out if you need to. We're going to come forward again. Let's actually sit on the knees for a second, stretch these arms out. So let's bring right arm across the body, bring the arm to the outside of, you come up to the shoulder, or right over here by the tricep, and just kind of pull the arm across the body here for a breath. Exhale, release. Let's bring the left arm across the body, really pull it over here. You're doing a great job, we're almost there. A couple more challenging poses. So we're gonna come back to this wide arm push-up. We're gonna do it one more time here. So those fingers are nice and wide. Hands are right below the shoulders. Extend those legs out behind you. Come into that beautiful plank. We're gonna do 10 here. So if you need to set the knees down, feel free. We're gonna let those arms come out wide when you're ready. That inhale is gonna bring us down. Exhale pushes up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Child's pose for 2 breaths. Next inhale lifts us back up. We're coming back into that high plank one more time. This is our last challenging little sequence here. So back to this high plank. This time we're going to do a Chaturanga Push-Up. So bring the weight forward, lower halfway down. Elbows are in tight. Push up. Let's do 3 more of those. 2, 1. Side plank, right side, lift those hips up high. 5 breaths here. Beautiful. Back to that high plank. 5 Chaturanga push-ups. Shift the weight forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over to the left. High plank. Lift those hips up high. Last one. Beautiful. Back to center. Bring the knees wide. Toes to touch. Come into that child's pose. I'm going to bend the arms, bring the hands to prayer here. You can bring them back behind the head towards the shoulders, or you can put the hands flat here. Walk the shoulders out, stretch into those arms. Bring the arms out long and let's walk them over to the left side. Stretch the side body, stretch the right side. Beautiful deep breath. Walk over to the right side this time. Same thing, stretching into the left side of the body. Stay with that beautiful deep breath here. You've done an amazing job. Maybe take a moment to re-embody that intention one more time. Beautiful, walk back to center. The next inhale lifts you back up. Come back to that comfortable seat one more time. Root those sit bones. Inhale that spine up tall. Roll the shoulders down the back. The next inhale inhales the hands to the heart. Those hands at a point of balance in front of the heart. And from this place of balance within me, I recognize, honor, and appreciate the teacher, the light, and the divine within each of you and all beings. Namaste.